Hello, this is Grim Gary, and this is several hours after I did video 2. I've slept, I've gotten allergies, I've taken a Benadryl. I'm kind of out of it. But we're going to try to complete this here painting and get it going. So, we were working on the ground before, and I was just shadowing little bits of areas. I'm going to continue doing that for a minute or two. Light and dark tool. If I don't talk too much, it's just because of Benadryl. Like I said, I'm kind of out of it. My allergies were that bad when I got up this morning. Pick some of these little bits of areas. You may not be able to see this clearly until you get the image. Until you're able to download it and see it in full detail. Now I'm going to discuss a few things I saw on the comments section. Somebody from Lithuania was like, I could do that with a real brush. Well, that's very good. You should do it. There's nothing, I'm not here to one-up you or anything. I'm just here to do my thing. I hope you weren't saying, well, I can do that with a real brush. But yeah, it's good. Do art. The world needs more art. It records who we are and what we are as a people. I'm quickly switching layers to get more. Basically, I want more values in the background here, without darkening it too much. Because the background is further away than anything. It's going to be a little bit lighter. But the shadows get more pronounced too when things are further away. So you just got to find what looks good. Now I'm going to switch to the lightning tool. Not lightning, like. This is what I mean. This has been me all morning. But the tool that lightens the value of a color. Take this across various random points. And I'm going to smudge it around. Basically blend it in real good. Some areas of water. A little bit better. So, then there are the first trolls, which are trolls. People who say first, without even watching the video, just because they want to get the first comment in, are a waste of time. It has nothing to do with the video. It has everything to do with their sad lives and not being able to come up with anything useful to say. It's just a race for that post button. And it has nothing to do with the video that's going on. I don't really care if you do it. It doesn't really bother me. But if you ask why you're a troll because you do it, well, there you go. That's the reason. Because you had nothing interesting to say about the video. You just wanted to get to that first post. Yay. You win. You ain't winning nothing from me, though. You ain't making any friends around here. I mean, you don't have to swear at these people. If you respond to them, then you're kind of adding to the attention they receive. Whatnot. Alright, that looks good. What I'm going to do is take the paintbrush, take a very high saturated yellow value, pastel it up a bit, make this brush pretty wide, but really not so dense, and just take it across. I'm going to create these kind of flowery texture. It's too big for the background. And I go with a smaller brush working in the background. What's doing it? It's going to be hard to see without a zoom in or something, and without seeing the actual picture. It's creating this kind of grassy texture over various spots. I don't want to spend too much time doing this. Wrap that up. Dabbing this into the canvas, the virtual canvas, the electronic canvas. It looks pretty good. Some of it I want to blend in a little bit. So the highlight of the color. I don't need so much the detail of the color, I just need the highlight. Alright, so we were going to do the water reflection. So I'm going to go up here. All you have to do is take the lighten and darkening tool, darken the brush, and we're going to take one mountain at a time. Seems to be the high point right there. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact. There are rules to perspective as far as water reflection goes, but you don't have to worry about it too much. Especially since this is going to be a water reflection and it's going to get kind of distorted and whatnot. Not a loss for words here, I guess. So I'm so out of it because of the Benadryl. Knocks me on my butt. Some people it makes hyper. Some people, like me, it is the anti-hyper. Alright, so you want to be careful kind of smudging this around. You don't want to affect the grass too much. Like that. Get the basic tone of mountain. We've got to reduce this. I'm going to keep catching that scroll bar. It's my YouTube worksheet. Every time I post, I go to that. It's a bunch of easy links. So I don't have to keep typing in the same stupid things all the time. I'm going to reduce the size of the brush because I have to get the finer detail. I'm just going to take these little bits of water, and I'm going to just go horizontally, like I was explaining in the last video. Just go horizontally with the water until you have the desired shape that you want. for the water, or the desired, I don't know what I'm saying. But the water has a very random surface, but it's also in a pattern. I'll just take these across. Really define it as the mountains that are being reflected. I may want to go a little bit darker. I may spray it with a little bit of that purple on the mountains. And why are your mountains purple? Why did you make your mountains purple? The mountains aren't really purple. They're probably various grays and browns and stuff like that. It's the water vapor in the atmosphere that actually makes things appear purplish, very, very light purplish when seen from afar. Just the water vapor there. You'll see it less in the desert because it's this water vapor. You'll see it more like if you go to the Rocky Mountains or, you know, anywhere there's like a rainforest or something like that. You can see it a lot more defined. Then of course it'll go to white as there's more water vapor in the air. And that's just how our atmosphere works. It's called the atmospherics, actually. So that's the nothing there. Reflection. I just want to darken that whole bit a little bit more to really bring it out of the water. Show that there's something else going on there. I may have to blend it down again, which is fine. Increase the size of the brush to get more work done. After I'm done with this, it won't take too much longer. I'm going to move on to the foreground. I'm going to put a couple trees in the foreground, and that should do it. This painting will be done. So yeah, they're like the guy from Lithuania that commented saying that he could do this with real paintbrush, then do so. That's awesome. Oh, what did I do? That was silly. I like undo buttons. Alright, now we're going to create some highlights. So we'll go to the lighting tool, really get that sucker up. Finer ones for the background. Really want to, near the edges of the lake, you really want to kind of brighten it up. Because this is where the grass is. As you get further away, it kind of distorts with the background. So. It's really starting to look watery. That's pretty good. Turn down the opacity a bit. Enlarge the brush. Do the same thing near the shores that are closest to us. I hate seeing that hourglass come up. It means it's caching too much. Almost done here with the water. Those are very subtle marks, subtle lightened marks. Hope I'm not being too quiet. So there's our water. Not the best, but it looks, I think it looks pretty decent. If we were to inspect it close up, you'd go, ah, well, there, it's a painting, yeah. I can tell it's a painting, yeah. It's fine. But as long as the person can tell what it is. I could look at this and think, hey, it's mountain with a prairie. Alright, the foreground. I'm going to make some very vibrant green leaves and structures. So we're going to take my less dense brush. We're going to take a really big brush though. I'm going to start adding in some brushes here. Happy little bushes. Oh yes, and I did forget to mention that Bob Ross died a number of years ago. It wasn't just a few years ago, it was a number of years ago. It was way back in 94 or 95, I believe. It's quite a number of years ago. His son actually does painting. Looks a little like him. But he's a man, you know, of the 60s and 70s. So that's where he was coming from. Later green. And up here and highlight these areas. And we'll bring them up. We're going to take a darker green. And create the opposite effect. Let's be a little bit darker. Smaller brush for that. And now we're going to go back to the smudge tool. Start smudging these in. You don't want them all looking pixely and whatnot. Just want them to comply. They must comply with our standards. Just gonna kind of pick at them. Get a little bit more kind of leafy. The hourglass is so annoying. But after a while, it's got to record all the undo information. So you can go back, I can go back like 250 counts of undo with this program. So normally with a paintbrush, like with oil or acrylics, I would just dabble individual leaves in. Kind of stipple them in. And that's the technique, stippling. So, we've got somebody talking in the background of the kitchen, so you may hear some voices or some water. Go on here. And keep going with that. And what we're going to do instead of stippling in whites, I'm going to stipple in darks. I want the density to be up, so let's get this pixelated. It's horrible. Density up, but opacity down. So it's the same variation throughout. Smaller brush. Size 20 brush, and get finer detail. That wasn't looking that good. Let's go beyond my canvas a little bit. I find that this is actually a lot harder than to do leaves and whatnot than real painting. Digital just doesn't have a control, not in a quick sense anyway, because you want to be able to do these kind of quick. I feel that digital does not allow you to do some things quicker, but it does have its advantages. This looks very painty, which is kind of cool. A lot of impressionists were very painty. That means it looks more like a painting than anything else. But you still get the impression, the impressionists, that it is what it is. You can still tell that this is a mountain valley, some trees and leaves and stuff like that. I'm going to go to the lightening tool. We're getting close to the time limit here. I may just go over. The last video was 35 minutes, so I think we're good. I'm at 22 minutes now. Larger brush, less opacity. Really want to get the values out of here. This green, because the greens are blending in too much with each other. And let's start to stick out a little bit more. If something doesn't look like it should be there, then it's going to be. You just have to either bring a value down somewhere, or you're going to have to bring a value up. What's a value, you say? Well, a value is basically a shade. Typically, we number them from 1 to 9. You can have a bigger scale or not, but 1 to 9, 0 to 9 is the standard scale. 0 being the darkest, and 9 being the lightest. Or switch that around, 9 being the darkest, and 0, because you're working on white. So 0 would be the lightest value there is. It should be pure light. Means 0, nothing on it. The 9 would be adding the darkest values of color. I'm going to go back to the ground plane for a second and darken some nice shadows underneath these bushes. They really stick out. This is darkening those values here. Alright, I'm going to add a tree to the scene. Tree in a hizzy. Ooh, let the trees out. That's bad. So we're going to go with this brown, dark. I'm going to take very basic approach here. Continues now. A little bit thicker. Just going to add that. We're going to rope it up. This is called roping. Taking basic strand. You know what I'm going to do this? Completely undo that. Because this is a little bit different than the foreground I was drawing. I'm going to go to a new layer, and then I'm going to do a little bit thinner brush there. And we are rapidly approaching the 0 minute. So I'll continue to do this off camera and finish it, just so you can see it. Deviant art. Yes, the Deviant art. What a weird name for a site. Deviant art makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. The branches get smaller and smaller as you go up the tree. And I think I have mentioned this before, but there is an actual 1/6 difference between each branch in a tree. Really. I don't care how bad these look now, they get fixed as I smudge them along. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go to the smudge tool. Just going to kind of go along, fix everything up, get the proper edges. Bring everything down to where it should be. Thin out some things. And we got a tree. And let's see. I'm going to take green again. A little bit more blue than that. Make it brighter. And there we go. Take that density down, opacity down, hardness down. Size it up there. Now we're just gonna kind of dab this in over the branches. Should create another layer for this, but we're already at 29 minutes, so just gonna get going. Opacity up. The problem is I won't be able to show you, well, you'll be able to see the shape that it is here in the video, but I won't be able to show you how to take care of the rest of that. Take the darken tool, darken the edges, darken some of these branches up here, and darken one side. It's starting to look like a tree. Darken various bits of it. Because I'm going to smudge this around, and it's going to look a little bit more leafy. But again, this is a painting thing. So when this is done, I'm going to post this on DeviantArt. You can follow the link right to my DeviantArt page. It's always in my description. From there, you can look at all the other stuff they have up. And don't forget, if you want to set in fan mail, it's perfectly cool. It's kind of different than my Minecraft series. So until next Let's Draw, we'll see you later. Take care now.